Golden Iris Productions presents Quantum Gravity Emerges. In this chapter, we begin our journey into understanding how gravity might arise from the quantum vacuum itself.
Emergent gravity. Here we explore the concept that gravity is not a fundamental force, but an emergent property arising from the structure of the quantum vacuum.
In the last episode, we looked at gravity as an emergent property of the quantum vacuum. We introduced a preliminary form of the gravitational coupling, which depends on a tiny sub-Planckian length scale, R0, approximately 9.76 times 10 to the negative 37 meters. This hints at a deeper structure beneath the Planck scale, embedded in the vacuum itself. Next, we adjusted the normalization to match the structure of electromagnetism. By replacing 8 pi with 4 pi, the length scale shifts slightly. The new sub-Planckian scale is now fully expressed using fundamental constants and is approximately 1.38 times 10 to the negative 36 meters. This adjustment provides a more natural connection between gravity and electromagnetic principles. The fine structure constant, alpha, can be expressed as E squared over 4 pi epsilon naught h bar c. Substituting this into our expression for R0 squared, we see a direct connection between Planck length, quantum mechanics, and the electromagnetic vacuum. This shows how gravity might be encoded in the fundamental constants of nature. Replacing R0 squared with Planck length squared times alpha, we get an expression for g, the gravitational constant, in terms of Planck length, vacuum permittivity, permeability, and elementary charge. Substituting alpha gives us a beautiful simplification. G is proportional to the Planck length squared over epsilon naught squared, mu naught squared, h bar c. Notice that the speed of light is already implicit through the vacuum constants, so no additional factors are required. Let's start with the formula for emergent gravity. G is proportional to 4 pi r0 squared over epsilon naught mu naught squared q squared, with r0 squared equal to Planck length squared times alpha. Substituting the fine structure constant, we can begin simplifying the terms to see how each fundamental constant contributes to gravity. Step by step, the 4 pi in the numerator cancels the 4 pi from alpha. The epsilon naught from alpha multiplies the epsilon naught in the denominator, giving epsilon naught squared in the denominator. H bar and c go into the denominator, and finally, setting q equal to e, the e squared cancels out. The result is remarkable. G is fully expressed in fundamental constants only, no arbitrary parameters or tuning required. Previously, classical formulas required a factor of c to the fourth. Here, using vacuum relations directly, we see that 1 over epsilon naught mu naught equals c squared. Squaring this naturally produces c to the fourth. Thus, the physics emerges directly from vacuum constants. Gravity is fully encoded in Planck length, epsilon naught, mu naught, and h bar. Calculating G. Now that we have a formula purely in terms of fundamental constants, let's compute G numerically. We express gravity purely using fundamental constants. G equals Planck length squared over epsilon naught squared, mu naught squared, h bar c. The constants involved are Planck length, vacuum permittivity, permeability, reduced Planck constant, and the speed of light. Our goal is to plug in these values and see Newton's constant emerge naturally. First, square the Planck length, 1.616255 times 10 to the negative 35 meters.
This gives approximately 2.611 times 10 to the negative 70 meters squared, which will be the numerator in our calculation.
Next, compute epsilon naught squared, roughly 7.839 times 10 to the negative 23, and mu naught squared, approximately 1.579 times 10 to the negative 12. Multiplying these gives about 1.238 times 10 to the negative 34. Now, multiply by h bar c, with h bar times c approximately 3.162 times 10 to the negative 26. Multiplying with the previous factor gives a full denominator of roughly 3.915 times 10 to the negative 60. Finally, divide numerator by denominator. 2.611 times 10 to the negative 70 divided by 3.915 times 10 to the negative 60 gives 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11 meters cubed per kilogram second squared. Exactly matches the measured Newton gravitational constant.
Key takeaways. Gravity emerges naturally from the Planck length and electromagnetic vacuum constants. There is no arbitrary tuning. All constants are fundamental. The c to the fourth factor appears implicitly, linking the quantum vacuum to classical gravity. This demonstrates a deep connection between quantum mechanics, electromagnetism, and general relativity. G is not a free parameter. It emerges from the vacuum itself.
Historical hints of gravity manipulation. There have been intriguing historical experiments suggesting a link between electromagnetism and gravity. Townsend Brown observed directional thrust from high-voltage capacitors, known as the Biefeld-Brown effect. The Philadelphia experiment allegedly caused the USS Eldridge to become invisible, with extreme space-time effects. Verified or not, these events hint at what could be possible if vacuum and electromagnetic properties control gravity.
Implications for future physics. If gravity emerges from electromagnetic vacuum constants, the implications are profound. Gravity may become engineerable, enabling artificial gravity or gravity reduction without mass. Quantum gravity could be understood as a vacuum structure problem, bridging Planck scale physics, electromagnetism, and classical gravity. The door is open for science to explore phenomena once thought impossible.
Closing thoughts. In conclusion, we have shown mathematically that G is not fundamental, but emerges from quantum vacuum constants. Gravity is an emergent property, potentially manipulable through electromagnetic interactions. Historical experiments hint at what could be possible. The future of physics may include engineering gravity itself, unlocking technologies once thought purely science fiction. Stay curious. The journey is just beginning.